The Blickling Estate is part of the National Trust, a charity set up in the late 19th century to preserve our country's heritage and open spaces for future generations. In the past, it's probably fair to say that the National Trust has been seen by many as a load of old posh stately homes in the countryside for middle-class families to pop along to at the weekend. But there's been a conscious shift in the charity's marketing strategy in recent years, which tends to feel more inclusive. Be a part of this. Walk on the grass, climb the trees, plant seeds, come for a Sunday run. Here's 50 things for the kids to do. Take part, volunteer, get involved. That kind of thing. That strategy has been great at getting people through the gates, but does it mean they understand any more about what the National Trust does? Why is the Blickling Estate there in the first place? The long and short of it is, the National Trust is a conservation charity, and everything that's done at Blickling and at other National Trust sites across the country must have that conservation ethos running through it. Public perceptions of charities can be tricky though. Unless you're trying to find a cure for cancer, are you a worthy charity? That's quite a common public perception. So, the message that the Blickling Estate has to get out there is to tell people what their cause is, why they are there, what they're doing, and how does that benefit the people at home. To get people to understand, and more importantly care about the Blickling Estate, the marketing and communication strategy needs to focus on winning the hearts and minds of the public. Brand management here is everything. It's more than your logo and colour scheme. It's the promise that you're making to the public, the idea that you stand for, backed up by what you're doing and what makes you so different. If the Blickling Estate can make that difference clear and meaningful, then people will make a special place for them in their limbic systems. That's the part of your brain where you keep your long-term memories, emotion and behaviour. So, how do you win people's hearts? Well, people engage emotionally less with what you do and more with why you do it. Take somebody who saves a dog from drowning in a river, for instance. Our response is, how brave of that person. They must be a real animal lover. They're a good person. That's so lovely. Our perception of that person will then be set. This kind of emotional engagement has to be a strong driver of action for charities. If people are going to hand over their cash to a charity, they have to believe and care about the work you're doing. What are the things that the National Trust cares about? What does the Blickling Estate do best? Well, you show the public that you're the best guardians of Britain's history and heritage and its natural spaces. You care about the woodlands and rivers you look after and the British wildlife that call it home. You restore old buildings to their former glory better than anyone else and look after artefacts to bring history to life. And how do you tell the public all of this? Through storytelling. What are the emotionally connecting stories you can tell within the Blickling Estate? So if emotional storytelling is how we can win the hearts of the public, how do we win over their minds too? That comes with continually connecting with people. If I ask you to think of cornflakes and baked beans, chances are you'll think of Kellogg's and Heinz. Brand is a kind of mental bookmark in people's heads, a single idea that you own in the mind of your audience. So, to make sure that idea gets in there and stays there, it has to be short and simple. Forever, for everyone. So the message is clear. Blickling Estate needs to be more valued and its cause better understood by those in the east of England so that people of all ages and all walks of life get what you do, what you stand for, and how you're relevant to them. So how are we going to connect with people? Well, the National Trust as a charity has to account for every penny, so above-the-line marketing like big TV campaigns are usually just way too expensive. There was one last year though, of course, quite an important one, which kicked off this new marketing campaign. There are opportunities for the Trust to advertise in magazines and utilise radio though, far cheaper mediums. But locally, the Blickling Estate will rely more on below-the-line marketing initiatives, connecting with people on a more one-to-one basis, as opposed to trying to talk to the masses. Cause marketing will be integral, as will direct marketing and social media marketing. Cause marketing, of course, where the aim is to increase the money coming into the charity whilst also bettering society, doing good. Finding like-minded people who care about protecting the special places you look after is key. Direct marketing can be all sorts of things. Leaflets through your door, an email in someone's inbox, a text message, a banner on a website, and so on. This too can play an important part in getting Blickling Estate's story understood and people through the gate. However, the way we communicate with one another is ever evolving. Traditional marketing techniques and communication styles no longer have quite the same impact as they once did. So for me, social media marketing is vital. We live in a digital world, and millions of people that the Blickling Estate could potentially connect with are a computer screen away, or more accurately, a mobile device screen away. Almost 80% of time spent on social media platforms in 2017 happens on a mobile. Social media marketing is low cost and highly effective. Good progress has been made by the Blickling Estate to grow a solid social media following, with 3,500 Twitter followers, 12,500 on Facebook, and 2,700 on Instagram. However, the Blickling Estate only has 5 subscribers on YouTube. YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the internet. It's a huge hole in a potential social media engagement, and one that needs addressing. Instagram is the fastest growing social media platform. 90% of Instagram users are younger than 35, so if you want to target millennials, that's the platform to use. It's also great as it has a ready-made story functionality, perfect for creating that emotionally connecting stories we're looking for. What makes the Blickling Estate so unique are its buildings, the surroundings, and its interiors. They're all visually stimulating and offer potentially rich content, which lends itself perfectly to Instagram. Brands on Instagram are seeing a per-follower engagement rate which is 58 times higher than on Facebook and 120 times higher than on Twitter. Meanwhile, visual content is more than 40 times more likely to get shared on social media than other types of content. So in summary, I would suggest a combination of cause marketing, direct marketing, and a big emphasis on social media marketing could greatly enhance both people's perception of the National Trust and of the Blickling Estate, and also grow new supporters for the charity. Video-based stories will ensure that the beloved National Trust, which has been doing amazing things for over 120 years, will remain current and relatable to a larger and more diverse group of people than ever before. If content is king in the digital marketplace, the National Trust has arguably the richest untapped source of content of any organisation in the UK. With the right strategy and a bold ambition to embrace digital, the future looks very exciting for the National Trust and indeed the Blickling Estate.